What's going on, NBA fanatics? This is your friendly neighborhood Memphis Grizzlies, home of Memphis X, and I talk hoops. Today, I am talking about road woes. My Lord. But first, every hero needs that theme music.
Piano.
Grizz gang, go hard. Baddest in the game, we be on one. I talk hoops so secure. All up on the court, but we gon' score. Memphis bringing heat straight from Tennessee. Demarest back and let's go for he that MVP.
Well, honestly, we can all say that the Grizz fan base, probably the coaches, probably the players, probably management, probably everybody in Memphis who didn't get to see the Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock show are frustrated with the team. The Grizzlies are on a 3-game losing streak, first time in over a year, I think. They followed the 122-121 last second loss to the Lakers with a 112-110 loss to the Suns and a 133-100 loss to the Kings. And to be honest, the Grizzlies have not looked great at all. A lot of their roster weaknesses have been exposed on this West Coast road trip, just like they were exposed on the last West Coast road trip, where the last 4-game road trip. It was Warriors, Suns, Nuggets, Thunder. They went 1-3 and followed that up with the loss at home to the Suns. So it ended up being a 1-5 spurt. And it looks like they might be headed that way now as they're 0-3 on this 5-game road trip and looking listless. The offense is terrible. Just terrible. The half-court offense is bad. Teams have found out a way to keep them out of transition, and their offense has gone to crap. And I think we are getting a real playoff preview of what it's going to look like, in the postseason. The offense has not been great. The shooting has been putrid. And the problem really comes down to not one thing, but I see the offensive problem as one fundamental problem. They have really 3 shooters on the team, and only 2 that can get their shots off when they want to, basically, more than likely. And even they struggle. The 3 shooters, of course, Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson, and Tyus Jones. Everybody else on the team in the regular rotation is a non-shooter or a guy who can't really shoot. Now, Ja gets a lot of 3-pointers up, but he's not really a shooter. And the problem is the Dillon Brooks minutes. And I'm not going to harp on and kill Dillon Brooks in this video. I'm not going to harp on kill Dillon Brooks. I'm just going to say you cannot have a small forward on your team that is taking a lot of shots with a 49% true shooting percentage. That is horrendous. It would be horrendous in any capacity, actually. But for somebody who's shooting volume amount of shots, it just does a lot to your offense. And then when you add on the bad decision-making with the ball sometimes, and he's passing a lot more than he normally does. I will admit that. But he still has bad decision-making, and it comes at these times where there's big swings. And then you go from having a 5-point deficit with the ball, and then there's a turnover or a bad shot, and the next thing you know, instead of cutting the lead down to 3 or 2, the lead is 8. And the game is starting to get out of hand. So these are the things that I think that has killed them. And I think that it has come time that they're going to have to either upgrade the scoring on the bench or upgrade the scoring in the starting lineup. One of the two. They can't do both this during the season, I don't think, but they need to do both before next season. It is past time to stop hoping and praying one of the young guys gets it. I just can't imagine where this team would be if Santi Aldama did not come through. Just imagine if he was having the kind of tepid season that Zaire Williams is having. Where would this team be? Especially since he had to start at the beginning of the season. They are depending too much on inexperienced NBA players. And although it's worked for them in the past, they were in a different place in the past. You can't call yourself a contending team and then depend on a lot of inexperienced players. It just does not compute. At some point, the Grizzlies front office is going to have to put on their big boy pants and make a move outside of the draft. It's going to happen. That is part of the job. Part of the job is when you have a contending team is fixing deficiencies during the season. And that is something that they're going to have to do. And they're going to have to do hopefully within the next 2 weeks. And if they don't do something in the next 2 weeks before the trade deadline, this place will probably become a fire and brimstone place against the front office. Now, I'm going to say that I'm not really put off about the 3 losses. I can deal with that. But the problem becomes that they've had the same issues offensively for 3 seasons, and they have not addressed it with a proven solution. I mean, they had shooting problems, and to bring in and to cure their shooting problems, they drafted shooters in the 20s. Those fruits do not come to bear season 1. It might be 3 seasons down the line before those fruit bear. So, we have to address problems with proven solutions. Guys who are proven in the NBA, hopefully proven in the NBA playoffs. If you want a shooter, you have to draft a guy who has made 3-point shots at a high volume and high level in the NBA already. You can't hope and pray that some guy who was shooting sort of in college is going to make a difference on a team that's trying to win a championship. And that's basically all I have to say about where the Grizzlies are right now. Peace.